With great anger, the young boy, the 8-year-old boy, came outside the tournament hall. He had lost his game and he was very angry at his father. He saw his dad and said, "Dad, you're teaching me everything wrong in chess." Dad said, "Why, son, what happened?" He said, "You told me in the opening center control is important. I controlled the center, yet I lost." He said, "Really? What happened? Show me the game." He said, "I was black. My opponent opened the game with 1 g4. This is a bad move." The dad said, "Yes, I agree, this is a bad move because it does not control the center. What did you do?" The boy said, "I pushed my pawn to d5 just like you had instructed, controlling the center and also threatening the pawn on g4. "Well done, my son." The dad was proud. Bishop g2 came the bishop. The boy said, "I picked up the pawn. It's a free pawn, Dad. I took it." The dad said, "Excellent. You should have taken the pawn and you did. I'm very happy." The boy said, "My opponent played c4. Now I had a decision to make. If I pushed the pawn or if I took the pawn, then he would take on b7 and now the rook is hanging here. It's a big problem for me." And so I did not take the pawn and I bolstered it in the center with c6. Everything's great. I'm a pawn up. But now my opponent came queen to b3 and he launched an attack on the d5 pawn and also on b7. I thought for a long time, which pawn is more important? Again, I decided to give more importance to the center and played e6. Now my center is very strong. If my opponent took the pawn here, I would simply move my knight away. That was the plan. But my opponent took the pawn on d5. And here, the son said, "I was very confused, Dad, what to take with." In the game, I decided to take with the d5 pawn because in the end, I thought if he takes here and I play my knight to d7, everything is safe. I have a strong center. But what happened next? Instead of taking the pawn, the opponent gave a check on a4. And here, after the boy blocked the check, the bishop on g4 was captured and lost. The dad said, "Look, son, this was not a problem of opening principles. The problem was that in this position, when your opponent took the pawn on d5, you had to take with the e pawn. Because then, if he took on b7, you can simply develop the knight." The son said, "But I was afraid that he would take my c6 pawn. The pawn is not hanging because after rook c8, the bishop is lost." The opening principles of controlling the center are often the most important things to follow in chess. But many times we just don't execute them well, and that is why we lose. Not because of the opening principles, but because of our execution. The son learned his lesson and decided to keep controlling the center as he moved ahead in his chess journey. I hope you enjoyed this. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.